One of the things I get asked about all the time is, should people invest in purchasing a home in a gated community? And ultimately it's your decision, but today we're going to dive into a couple reasons on why you may or may not want to live in a gated community. Periodically, people call me and ask that they want to live in a gated community, and not all of our areas have gated communities. And so if you're thinking that safety is your number one concern, that makes sense, living in a gated community. But there's a lot of other things that you should consider. Burglaries are typically less in a gated community, but there's a lot of other crime that happens all throughout the community. So my tip to you would be to go online, talk to the sheriff's office, and have them pull a list of different crimes that have happened in the area, and so you can get an overall picture of what's happening in your community. There's three different types of gated communities that we have here in Central Florida. You've got the old school kind. So some gated communities like this one, you just enter in the little code. This can be given away to other people, right? And so sometimes it's changed after you sell your house, but a lot of times it's not. And so that code has made it through contractors and friends and kids at high school that also get in with the code. And so one thing to think about is it a man gate or just a code? Or some of them, you actually have to put your driver's license in. Let's talk about more. The second one would be an actual man gate. So that's somebody that's there 24/7. They're checking IDs, they're taking tags off of your car to make sure that they know who's coming and going. They ask who's on the list, are they approved to get into the neighborhood? They're grilling that person before they get in to figure out, is this the right person that's supposed to get into the neighborhood? I think that's probably the best case scenario if you want safety for your neighborhood. We're going to try to get into a gated community without an appointment and see if they let us in. Hey, how's it going? So we're going to actually can we take a look at some houses here real quick?
Unfortunately, it's private property. You'd have to have a realtor to set something up with a house.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks. I appreciate it. The third kind is when you roll up to the camera and you put in your ID, and somebody somewhere else, could be in Utah for all we know, is looking through your information to see if you're on the list. And so really those are the three different kinds. So this Invera system, this is like a really big company here in Central Florida. This is one of the ones where like you put your ID in, and then that guy on the little camera, wherever he's at, will check to see if you should be here or not. Another thing to consider is how tight is the security, because even if it's a man-gated community, there's a lot of them that we have here in the neighborhood, especially in like the resort area, or if it's a golf community, where you can just say, hey, I'm going to the pro shop, or hey, I'm going to the restaurant, and they just wave you through without even taking your ID. So knowing what you're buying to make sure that you're putting it in the right investment in the right place is something that you should think about. All right, so let's talk about costs associated with living in a gated community. In our area, the average cost is around $250 up to $425 a month for a gated community. A lot of that has to do towards the security, maybe some of the other amenities. If you look at the comparison of neighborhoods that don't have a gated community, they range anywhere from $60 to $100 a month. So it's a significant savings if safety is not as important to you. But think about this, if you're going to pay the cost, then you want to make sure that what you're paying for is something that you actually get back in security. So digging a little bit deeper and finding out what you're getting is going to be important.
And that's where a realtor like Ken Pozek can help you out.
And that's where a realtor like myself can help you guys figure out some of that information and dive into the data points. Speaking of data, oh.
Hey, bro. I'm trying to help you out.
Speaking of data, I actually dove in through the MLS in Orange County, and I said, okay, let's look at a 4,000 square foot home and look at the average days on market and cost differentiation between having a gated community versus something that's not gated. Days on market between non-gated and gated were super close, but the cost overall of the homes in these neighborhoods were significantly higher. So not only are you gonna have a higher HOA fee, but your price point of your home goes up significantly as well. All right, so wrapping up, you have to decide, is this actually perceived safety or actual safety when you're deciding on if you want a gated community or not? Is the cost worth it to you or not? These are all things that you need to decide when you're looking to buy a house. And listen, if you're looking to buy or sell a house anywhere in Central Florida, I want to be your real estate resource of choice. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. We're putting out videos. How often do we put out videos, Adam?
Twice a week.
Twice a week now. So make sure you subscribe. And if you're buying or selling a house, give me a call at 407-717-0197 or shoot me an email at ken@pozekgroup.com. We'll see you guys on the next video.